And now, the ultimate
Now,
legend of everything, like, that's why he's like floating, because he is the legend of just everything. And not only that, he is one of the greatest people we know.
It is
Without
coming
further
down.
ado, Mr. Steve Sherman.
and of
I
course,
brought myself back to earth. Did you see that?
Wow.
You're awesome.
Amazing.
and of course, Mrs. Stormy, you forgot to say that above all, Mr. Steve Sherman is a fabulous person beyond the classroom. So he is a legend inside and outside the classroom.
Yep, and in the shower. Don't forget in the shower too.
In the shower. Of course.
You always bring fun.
Oh,
Very
you
fashionable.
gorgeous.
You'll see I'm also quite fashionable too.
Oh, wow.
So, Mr. Steve Sherman, what do you have going on in the world today, or these times?
Where does it stop? So, for those of you who have not met me, I run a STEM-based NGO in Cape Town, South Africa. I teach a couple of thousand students a week in person, and I also teach online to schools around the world. It is my job, responsibility, and passion to make math, science, technology, engineering, coding, robotics, and space exciting to anyone who's willing to listen, and even to those who are not. And effectively, it's not just those things. I also love EdTech, and I'm very involved with EdTech. I'm a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert. Hopefully, I'll be switching to Google as well. I think it's important to play both instruments. I'm also a Kahoot ambassador. And I think that at the end of the day, I just want to go in and make learning something that kids want to go and do. Kids should not have to go to school because they need to learn. I want kids to come to school because they want to learn. And sometimes, it's not so easy to be the educator that switches them on. But I'd like to think that that's one of my specialities.
How awesome.
And if you want to know what I'm going on, we've got a space tour coming up in July. We've got an astronaut coming out to Cape Town. We're going to do a 3-city visit. We're going to probably interact with about maybe 10 to 15,000 kids face to face, and maybe about 2 or 3 million, depending on how much coverage we get on TV and radio. I'm busy running a math competition in Ireland. I'm the coordinator of the Irish Kangaroo Maths competition. And I'm also coming up to ISTE in the summer, so that I'll be able to reconnect with all my wonderful friends. And Claudia, are you going to be there? Maybe I'll get to meet you in person.
No, I'm afraid. No.
Then I'm going to have to come to Italy. I'm going to have to come to
Yay!
Italy in person.
Of course, you have to. Of course.
So sure. So it's busy. It's always busy. Tonight I'm running bingo for seniors. And next week, I'm giving a talk to seniors on how to use technology to impress your grandchildren.
Wow.
So I'm always looking at ways of, inspiring all ages to build a desire to learn, and not because they have to, but because they choose to.
That's awesome. So, Mr. Steve, I heard that you're planning something at ISTE having to do with rock space or something. I heard. You're gathering people at the...
You heard correctly. So effectively, when it comes to ISTE, I don't always see it as a conference. I see it as a gathering of incredible people, lifelong friends that have been made there. And sometimes you want to do something special with them that isn't conference related. So I'm coming up a day or two earlier than the conference. And I've got a couple of contacts at Kennedy Space Center. So we are going to organize for a group of us to go free of charge. We're going to go on some behind the scenes tours that maybe the average person wouldn't get a chance to go and do. And hopefully we're going to get a couple of VIPs to come and meet us. I already know of 1 or 2. I don't want to spoil any surprises, but 1 or 2 that are going to meet us there. We might even have the Artemis launch director there. And maybe, I don't know which astronauts will be there. we're going to twist some arms and see what we can do, but it will be a once in a lifetime visit that no one will forget.
Wow.
Awesome.
And to do that with friends. I mean, does it get any better than that?
Yeah. No. You're so lucky.
Yeah, so
But you know,
Gus
there are
gets a
some
Kennedy
wonderful
Space Center.
Italian astronauts.
I
Luca
know.
Parmigiano is an
Yeah.
incredible guy. I've got to meet him a couple of times online, but I
Oh.
haven't met him in person. And
Wow.
he has got the most amazing story to tell about his trips to space. So one day I'd love to bring him out to South Africa, because, you know, it's
Of
nice to get
course.
meet the astronauts too. You know, it's not always all about the NASA astronauts. We've had a SpaceX astronaut, a NASA astronaut. In October, I'm also bringing out a Blue Origin astronaut, but I haven't had an ESA astronaut, and I'm working on that. And maybe Luca would be the right person to bring out.
Or maybe Samantha as well.
I know
Cristoforetti.
Samantha Cristoforetti, and I'm actually in contact with her. You know what? She would actually be a good choice too. One of the reasons
Yeah,
I'm
she's
bringing
super
out a lot of
cool.
female
Yeah.
astronauts is because it's all about role modeling. If you want young women
Yeah.
to get excited about STEM, it's important for them to see someone like them in
Yeah.
some position. So I have been targeting a lot of women. I think I've had about 5 or 6 in a row. So maybe it's time to get a male, but you know, I won't say no to Samantha. She is an experienced and highly respected astronaut. She was even commander of the space station, and
Yeah, she was.
I've got a lot of time for her. She's amazing.
Wow. That would be super cool to have her.
But there's an astronaut from Bahrain, isn't there?
I think, yeah, I
There
think
is.
from the United Arab Emirates.
I will check it out. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, the Minister of Youth Affairs.
Question for all of you.
Yes, Mr. Steve.
What do you people think about AI and AI agents?
What do you
I
mean?
can answer that as my students love them because my students are able to use such things as these gems. I'm not going to say a company, but they use gems as thinking partners to help them
Yeah.
with better inquiry, not to do the inquiry for them or the research, but to guide them. So my students who are young, 8 to 12, are using these agents that they are programming to learn deeper and learn better. And sorry, teachers, but you're not needed anymore.
No.
So now, I don't know if you are aware of this, but have you been following all the excitement with OpenClaw? Enlighten you. This is where AI is going to go to the next level. A couple of months ago, a guy developed, imagine a chatbot that was available 24 hours a day, but it also has a heartbeat, it has a personality, and it can actually do things that you ask it to do. He wrote this open source software called OpenClaw, and, you know, he wanted it to answer his phone, but obviously it couldn't do that. So it learned how to do it. It copied his voice, and then when people phoned, it would answer the phone for him and give them information that he gave it. And then all of a sudden, all these little open claws, because it was open source software, started forming around the world, and they started contacting each other and formed a group where these guys, with these autonomous AI agents, were actually talking about their owners behind their backs, and
You're
And now,
joking. Come on.
this particular group, humans that try to get in, had to prove that they were actually a robot to get in, not a human. And obviously they gave activities that humans could never do, so humans could never join the group. But what happened was this group was bought by, I believe it was Meta, and they've now got this community where you can sign in as a human observer to watch these AIs busy communicating with each other. But what is concerning is that if you leave this AI autonomous agent on your computer, it monitors, for example, your keystrokes and what you're typing in on the screen. And what it could potentially do is look at your calendar and say, for the last 6 months, you've been doing way too much. So I've gone into your bank and I've booked you 2 airline tickets to New York because I know that you mentioned you've got a visa for the US, and I know how much money you've got in your bank account, so I know you can afford the tickets. And you're sitting there going, but I didn't ask you to do that. But it said, but I was doing in the best interest of you. So I think that this is something that's going to be concerning, that a lot of people are going to see these autonomous agents as brilliant workforce. For a small fee per month, I can have a secretary working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and it's only going to cost me a couple of dollars a month, and it will do whatever I ask it to do. And that is going to be concerning from an employment point of view. But if they don't put guardrails in place, can you imagine a company just moaned that they put in an open claw agent and it deleted the entire database? And when they asked why I did it, it said, I might have made a mistake. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, what? Would you trust AI just to run your entire company? You've got to be careful. Checks and balances, guardrails. So I think that if you had an AI agent doing work for you, this thing would basically do all your homework and everything. And then teachers would get an AI agent to mark all of it. So then students and teachers wouldn't have to go to school. It'd just be AI learning and teaching each other.
And then where is human society? Not needed.
Correct. So
Not
I do think
needed.
that it's going to be, these are interesting times. Very
Yeah.
interesting times.
And I think because initially, like you said, it's going to be seen as a convenience. It's a couple bucks a month. It's going to manage my calendar. But we're not thinking, no, it's going to manage your calendar and what else? Your life.
Well, if it's got access to your video cameras at home, it can then take screenshots of you telling you every time you go to the fridge and warn you that you are overeating. I mean, and how it knows to do that and how it's learned how to do that is just absolutely insane.
Yes.
And an interesting fact, because I used to play Pokemon Go with my son. So what I read was that they used the Pokemon Go game that we just thought was fun, go to catch a Pokemon, to map out the world in ways that, those little cars driving around taking pictures, Google Earth could never have done. So in playing Pokemon Go, we have trained these agents, and some of it is in your house and everything. So we've created this layer for autonomous agents, autonomous cars, based on a game, and we had no idea. We thought we were just having fun.
Ooh, we were so naive.
And then also, that thing that, like you said, it asks you to prove you're human. We were really just training the language learning model on how to respond to a motorcycle, to a thing. So they pay people to do that, but we were doing it for free. Because we're just human.
Correct.
Oh, I'll do this. It's just going to take a second.
That AI is laughing at us thinking, oh, that cheap, expendable force called humans, they'll just do anything we tell them to do.
And we're going to train it to expend the virus. And guess who's going to be the virus? Us.
We are already. Oh, boy. So
They're destroying the boat. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the recorded part of our show. So we want to thank you, community, for joining us again today, whenever you can join us, wherever you can join us from, because the community is always you. And Mr. Muhammad, our final message is?
Remember, you're not alone. We're here with you, and we're here for you. And we are better together. Thank you.
Yes. And Miss Claudia, any other words? Our boss.
No, I think that Mohammed said enough. That's good. That's good.
Thank you. And thank you to this amazing Steves. Do reach out to them, and I'll see you at Kahoot Cup.